All right, let's get it. Sleep deprived and all. We're here. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh. That's Bryan Broaddus. Bryan Broaddus, of course, you can hear on 105.3 The Fan. You can hear him on the Love of the Star podcast. You can hear him with Voch, with Foots, with Wooly Bully, with everybody. Bryan Broaddus, the GOAT of Cowboys content and a full-blown psycho who at 9 a.m., the morning after a game where both of us finished broadcasting sometime after 1 a.m., is already done with the film. He's a psycho and we love it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bryan.
Hey, good morning to you, Jeffrey. Yeah, that was weird because of the weather delay. You knew going in that there was going to be potentially some problems, and I know you had to deal with the same thing on your pregame show, that you're making up time and stuff like that. So yeah, it turned into what was a long night already turned into an even longer night, which led into kind of like taking a Sunday nap for a couple hours and then getting up and going to work. So, got it done. Some really good effort from some guys that you normally wouldn't think would be a part of you winning a football game, but that's what you got from several guys yesterday.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned our post-game show, which this right now is on my YouTube channel, and you can also please subscribe to youtube.com/@TheLLS_sports. That is my gig, and that is where I do a show 4 days a week and a pre- and a post-game show. Sometimes it's on my channel, sometimes it's not. Subscribe over there, and you'll get all of it, and then follow everything that Bryan does. These are the rules that you must follow. Please hit the like and subscribe button as well. So, I haven't hit this button in a while, but I'm excited to play a game of hot dog or the bun.
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
Bryan's done the film. Bryan's the psycho. I'll catch up, but it isn't done yet. So I'm just going to ask you this.
Yeah.
One of my first thoughts about last night's game, they should have scored more points than they did. If
they
that
did,
doesn't make a couple of big mistakes, they score more points than they did. You get out of there with 30 points. Everybody feels even better. But only one of these quarterbacks in this game took the ball with the game on the line and said, I'll go win it. So shout out to Dak.
Yeah.
One of my questions about the offense is it as a whole felt like there was more move around, more condensed formations, more of all of the things that people have been yelling at Mike McCarthy about. And he's just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. It felt like they did more of those things. Did they?
Yeah, the moving around part was really restricted to span forward in the first series. That play, what they did, with how they were able to kind of get.
It worked though.
It was amazing that they caught TJ Watt standing up in the middle of the defense. So instead of playing on the edge, he was in the middle of the defense and he was playing next to the linebacker Roberts. And it appeared that Roberts lost track of span forward when he went in motion. And then, they were able to get him up the field. The late in the game, you mentioned the bunch formation, the tight formation. The pass that went to Ferguson on third down was a bunch formation that they were able to, and they ran him much like they did with Cooks. If you remember last week when we talked, they ran Cooks behind Ferguson to trail him and then kind of run him through trash and then be able to, they were thinking, well, we're going to get man coverage down here in the red zone or near the red zone. And they got it. And then they were able to kind of get Ferguson into space, and they took advantage of that against Jackson. So, it was a little bit more the bubble screens, the things like that. They were able to get those. They got those off as some running plays. Jeffrey, when you watch the tape, you're going to be impressed with the running game in a way that they could have really gashed the Steelers running this football in this game.
Hey, and Rico Dowdle is now the man with the longest run on the season. CeeDee Lamb held the record for 5
13
weeks.
13 yards, right? Something like
12. That. Rico had a 13.
Yeah. But when you watch the tape, they are a wide receiver block away or I can't figure out poor Tolbert, probably man of the match, the way he played and all that. They ask him to block and it just doesn't work. I mean, and I wonder if they're going to get to a point where they're like thinking, if we just spread the wide receivers out, we're not going to bring men into the box that can kind of make the play. And I wonder if we're going to get to that point. They brought Flournoy in, a couple of times to block, and I thought, oh, big body guy and all that. He could have got called for holding twice. I mean, it was these wide receivers. It's tough. It's tough, and there were a couple of different times where they had a chance if they would have just got this block. If it was a receiver block or a guy, they had some really good combination blocks in this game that were able to kind of get some traction and got him going. But man, you're going to watch it and go, damn, they could have had another, 50, 60 yards. It was one of those metrics things where it says, oh, expected run, yeah, okay, I believe it now. When you tell me expected run, okay, expected run. I saw it with my own eyes last night. So, but yeah, it was a positive in that aspect. But the receivers as blockers, it's been just But now Brooks had a good one.
He's a big, strong man.
Yeah, Brooks on the that 3rd and 6 call that Mike made with the flip. That they flip, and you're thinking, oh, geez, they're going to throw the ball here. He runs the flip going left. Man, they block that thing up perfect. And so, that's what you got to have. If you're going to run the ball, you got to get blocks, and everybody has to block. But you're going to watch the tape, and you're going to go, damn, they had a bigger opportunity in this game to be even better running the ball.
That takes me to question number 2 of, is it the hot dog or is it the bun?
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
I think I accidentally hit the button twice, so that's going to sound weird.
It sounds really weird when you do it twice.
Yeah, let me just hit it once.
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
Yeah.
Is it the hot dog or is it the bun? This is a popular one in both the comments on our post-game show last night and already this morning. It seemed like they may have had a better chance blocking once Tyler Guyton got hurt. And Tyler Smith went to left tackle. TJ Bass went to left guard. By the way, your questions are absolutely welcome in the chat. They're preferred as a super chat, and we would prefer if you hit the like and made sure you were subscribed while you're here. It seemed and felt like they might have blocked a little bit better with Tyler Guyton off the field. Is that hot dog or bun?
Oh, it was definitely hot dog because
which answer is hot dog?
I think hot dogs are always better than the bun. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you just eat the bread, that's just the bread. If you have the hot dog, that's kind of the whole thing, right? Isn't that right? Now, if you just say it's the hot dog itself, I just can't eat the hot dog by itself. I have to have the bun.
It feels weird, but you don't want to have too much bread unless it's an incredible bun like Fuddruckers used to have.
There you go. Oh, no,
so
you're
anyway, what I'm
absolute-
saying is Tyler Guyton seems like he is really, really, really on
Struggling.
the struggle bus.
Struggling,
and
yeah.
I don't want Tyler Smith playing left tackle because I think he's better at guard. I thought that Herbig got hurt soon after that because he was also giving Smith some issues out there. So that kind of helped. But I guess Tyler Guyton, how is he? Where is he? How worried are we?
Yeah, it's Tyler Guyton is really, really struggling with his technique, and you don't need the former scout to tell you that. The feet have not been really great. The hand placement's not been really great. There's been a couple of times where, he's been bad body position. I know that he works with Duke and those guys and tries his best. Right now, I mean, he's just kind of in survival mode when it comes to some of these blocks. And he hasn't caught a break. Honestly, he hadn't caught a break. Every rusher he's
ballers.
Man, I mean, and I'm not making a good excuse for the kid. I'm just saying for a rookie to have to deal with the edge rushers he's had to deal the first 5 weeks of his NFL career has been a problem. And, these guys know how to break him down. It's been tough. I mean, he fights like hell to get his hands inside. They carry him inside. They carry him wide. I guarantee you that Tyler Smith did not take a rep. I'll bet you a hot dog that he didn't take a rep at left tackle this week at practice. That was a gut call, natural. Hey, because when he went to the line the first play, he looks over at TJ Bass, and Bass is trying to kind of explain, like, okay, bro, this is what we're about to do here, and they kind of like get it all. But
Doesn't
they
that tell you everything you need to know about guys like, I don't even remember who was active or inactive last night, that Awesome Richards and Matt Will-Let's-Go, they ain't trying to put them on a field.
It's and you wonder if Chuma Edoga was active.
And he might have gone in.
Chuma Edoga plays in that game. And so
at left tackle, probably.
Yeah. And they move the ball better. But Bass has his moments of OS, every once in a while too. The head will go down, he'll duck. They had a chance. They had a running play that went to the outside that could have got a huge gain in Wilson, the linebacker, who's a good linebacker, rookie linebacker. Dude
Bass just missed him.
Yeah. Bass is up the field and he's kind of trying to adjust back to him, and then Wilson just tags the play, and you're like going, God, if they just got that block, that thing's going out the gate. You're going to see it on tape. You'll say, oh, geez.
I remember that one where
some missed
all the time in the world to do what he needed to do, and just whiffed him.
Well, and you've got guys, not. Guyton has played snaps. He's not really a rookie. He's played now 5 games. He's has experience. It's just, his technique is really, really, really struggling right now. And I don't think his confidence is, but man, he is. It just seems like he's kind of caught in a revolving door. He just can't get out of the revolving door. And but that's it's going to be expected. But Smith going out there and playing the way he did, that was huge for that football team yesterday.
All right, I have one more offensive hot dog or the bun.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, and I went with this last night and throughout the game, it was something that I believed and something that I've been looking for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hot dog or bun, KaVontae Turpin playing more football instead of Brandin Cooks makes you a better football team.
It's got some bun element, or excuse me, it's got some hot dog element to it.
Got some dog to it.
Got some dog to it. They have figured out ways, yesterday, and I knew going in as we talked about this game and broke it down. I think we even talked about it on our Thursday show, that who was going to step up and play in place of Cooks. And the thing that Turpin gives you is that he does give you the quickness that you do have. Cooks hurt, obviously he had to go get a procedure. It went the wrong way for him. He'll be out the next 4 weeks, the next 3 weeks for sure. But yeah, they needed to get Turpin more involved. And that's what they did. It looked like to me, Jeff, the things that when we went out to the OTAs and minicamp practices this past spring, that was the kind of stuff you were seeing. It was get him the ball, hand him the ball, throw him the ball, whatever you had to do to get him the ball, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is what they were doing. And we saw a little bit of that yesterday. His ability to make, they stopped kicking him the ball after the first one. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. We kick the ball to this guy again, we're going to have one brought back to our, 38-yard line kind of a thing. So, yeah, he's becoming more comfortable playing as a receiver, and his routes actually help. If you look at the Tolbert touchdown that wins the game, he's on the left side and he runs a route that clears the area to allow. So they got Turpin running the back line.
They got three-level crosser.
Yeah, they got Turpin running the back line. They got Lamb carrying guys to the inside. And the way that Turpin ran his route, it cleared out that area that allowed Tolbert to come all the way across. If you get Turpin half-assing his route over there, and he doesn't carry that guy, you might have to deal with a defender right there. Instead, he carried and made that guy have to go with him, and it opened up space over there. So, yeah, it was really – there was a lot of guys yesterday. I mean, who had Span Ford for 2 catches for 20 yards on their bingo card in that game?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Been 3 catches for 35, Span Ford.
Ford looked like a soccer goalie on that one, man. He was trying to parry it away, I guess. You know, I don't know. I was like,
I think Span Ford, if he's going to catch a ball, needs to be pretty open.
Pretty open. But good for Span Ford for, they had, Schoonmaker had, I believe, 1 catch, but his blocking was really good in this football game. I mean, he got after it. And one time he gets, you give him a Wolverine sticker for his helmet like he used to get. He pinned Watt, one time and, just put him on his back. So, there were some things with these tight ends, Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Spanford. We can't get our guy John Stevens active. I mean, he's a healthy scratch every week now. They're just not going to do anything with him. When he's kind of a break glass and an emergency guy.
Okay, now the last thing that I have for you on offense is just a theory, and I guess that does make it hot dog or bun. Because as I was watching the game last night, I'm going to give you 3 plays that I noted as they were happening. Because there was a play mid to late third quarter. They got to 3rd and 1. It's a big moment in the game.
I wanted to kill Mike on this one.
And they handed it to Hunter Lipke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought 3rd and 1, they just go get the first down when they try and throw the ball and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, no, not that one.
I hate that. I thought you were going to say that was the one.
The hurry up play action.
Yeah.
No. But they hand it to Hunter Lipke. Then they get to 3rd and 1 and the quarter ends. And so we have a TV timeout, all the time in the world to put in the players that you want. And it's 3rd and 1. And the first play of the 4th quarter is Rico Dowdle at running back. He gets the first down. On the play on the goal line to try to win the game.
Oh, geez.
On the 1-yard line.
It was penetration. It was penetration. Penetration. Loudermilk, the tackle penetrated. And you're going to say, why did he not follow to the edge?
No, I'm not. That's not where I'm going.
Okay.
You wait. You sit there and you wait.
Trying to be a mind reader here because you're taking forever to get to your question.
That's the point of the whole question is the build.
So I need to take longer to give you the answer. That's the problem.
The whole point of the question is the build-up. I'm giving you the evidence first, like an attorney.
Okay, Perry
Game
Mason.
on the line.
Give it a go.
At fullback. Rico's at running back.
Yeah.
These are all situations where you need 1 yard and the game is in the balance, and none of them involved Ezekiel Elliott being in the football game.
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
Is this the last game that he's active? Because that's my theory. I think we're about to hear that he's hurt and Dalvin Cook is about to make his debut.
Okay, I know that a lot of people, I asked the trainers, did I ask the trainers? No, I asked somebody. Because there was a big conspiracy theory. You've put on shoulder pads before, right?
I have put on shoulder pads before. Back in my day, our pads were way too big.
Have you ever put on shoulder pads with those jerseys, the kind they have now? Or
those things are tight as hell.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody was saying there's something wrong with his shoulder, and I went back and there was a Band-Aid on his shoulder, right? So I'm thinking, is this a shoulder problem that maybe he got an injection and now he can't put his... Now, those pads, I'm not making excuses. Bucky Buchanan, Mike McCord, Dylan, all those guys walk around the locker room and help those dudes put on pads. Because you cannot, to put those pads on and take those pads off is a nightmare. It really, really is. You see him after games. Like, I think Zeke was trading a jersey with their runner, with their running back, Harris. And so,
well, you would talk about 2 guys that are real slow and washed.
Yeah, it was like they were both struggling. I saw them in the background, both like struggling to get their pads off. Okay, now
also just to add fuel to your fire here, they did get Zeke over 9,000 career rushing yards.
Yeah,
on
that's
last carry of this game.
Yeah, my man Eric Chiafalo, who I work with on 105.3, the fan on the G-Bag Nation. Eric goes, "Yep, they got him to 15 yards. Okay, shut this thing down. Here we go. We're done." But yeah, the pads getting on because they said Zeke couldn't lift his arm. Now, again, there was a Band-Aid on that shoulder, and I'm thinking he didn't get an injection, but it seemed like it was kind of like of like a flu shot or the COVID shot kind of Band-Aid. It didn't look, I didn't know if it was, when you usually go into a shoulder, you kind of go into the top and, work it around and stuff like that. But I'm to the point now where I would be, they deactivated Deuce Vaughn yesterday.
Yeah.
But that was to get more linebackers in the mix because they were having to play. They had some deals where Leofau and those guys played as some edge, like, in like their kind of their 5-2 alignment. But to your point, I think you're getting close. I think you're getting close to the moving on. I could have answered this question a long time ago, but I just didn't.
That's okay. You're answering the way that I asked it. You just
I ramble on. I apologize, but I think about what I try and say. But to me, I think you're getting closer. I think you're getting closer to the day of Dalvin Cook getting some opportunity to be a primary player for this football team.
And he might have a bag of nothing too, but I think that we may get our opportunity to see. Calvin's in the super chats that brought us time to have a serious conversation about Lipke getting more touches. And then we have Ghostface. Why y'all trashing Zeke? He barely even plays. He carried us for 3 years straight. I'm not trashing Zeke. I think it's a very relevant story because the story on why they brought him in was short yardage. We need the hammer. And they had those opportunities last night. And they absolutely positively did not put him in to do it.
Nope.
And I just think it's a relevant story about a player that people care about. So take that.
See, everybody takes it as you're trying to slam somebody and you're trying to, we talked about the question of the gentleman in the chat. We talked about Hunter Lipke. My dream of the game, I picked the final as 20-16 Dallas, and I was thinking Hunter Lipke was going to kill the last 4 minutes of the game. That was my dream. All week long, they're like, how do you see this one going, Brian? Dallas is going to win this one 20-16. Hunter Lipke is going to carry the ball in the last, it was going to be Vanderbilt versus Alabama and kill 2 minutes and 56 seconds of a football game with Hunter Lipke. That's what I was kind of thinking that was going to happen. But, you needed the fact that Dallas had 2 15-play drives for touchdowns in the fourth, that says a lot about your team. It says a lot about your quarterback. That's not an easy defense to have to deal with, but here we are. I'd like to see that, Cooks, I'd like to see Dalvin Cook get a shot just to see, because if they're going to block in a way, the running game where they get good combo blocks and they kind of figure out what's going on with the wide receivers blocking on the edge. That's why San Francisco, these teams that run the ball really, really well, you look at their wide receivers block. Those dudes are getting blocks down the field, man. Their tight ends getting blocks. Their fullbacks getting a block. Everybody's getting a block. And, Dallas could be very capable of that. Like I say, you're going to watch the tape. A lot of people out there are going to watch the tape, and they're going to go, God dang, they had a chance for this one. This had a chance to be a big play.
Yeah. I'm doing a disservice to what the Cowboys defense did yesterday by waiting 23 minutes before asking you about them. But, I mean, my God. And I'm going to bring back a name that we haven't mentioned in a while to make this meandering point. No Micah Parsons, no Tank Lawrence. Marshawn Kneeland got hurt early, and if you have an update, I'd love to hear it, but I fear everything because non-contact knee, I get scared about that. And Sam Williams, who was supposed to be one of your top guys this year, that's your top 4 guys that play on the edge, and you have none of them against a team that they're not a good running team, but it's a team that wants to run and in theory should be
volume running team. Yeah, volume.
And then you're missing 2 of your top 4 corners. How in the hell did they survive and then some without any of their good players?
Well, you do give them credit for the backups that played. The update that I got late into the night was about Kneeland. There was an MRI, but there was nothing they could tell at the stadium at the time one way or another. If it's this is this or this is that.
That's true. Good news, because I can tell you this: a torn ACL, you grab that leg, you go
and you bend it, and so they could not go one way or another. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe Dallas catches a huge break. If not, man, the way it happened, these non-contact injuries are just they're killer. But yeah, you got away with it. Here's my prediction for the week. Steelers travel to Vegas next weekend for a game against the Raiders. Russell Wilson's going to be your quarterback.
Yeah, Fields was bad.
Fields got him to 3-2. You have to take advantage of quarterbacks that don't always play well, and he's made a couple of good throws. You kept him from running the football, which was line item, whatever you want to call it, number 1 on the list. Don't let Fields run the ball like Lamar Jackson did. Long carry was for 8 yards in that game yesterday. So mission accomplished that way. You did a really nice job. I mean, the guys, like I say, the Wheats, the Golstons,
Wheat surprised me, dude, and he kept doing it. Like when they brought in all those extra guys at the end of camp, I was like, man, Wheat is a guy whose name I don't really know.
No, Wheat's been on the team the last 2 years. He
wasn't every practice. I was just like, he can kind of play. We just don't. People just don't know his name. Yeah,
he played really, really well for you. Golston played edge, but played tackle in this game. You got some really, really good effort from him. Oso Digizua played well for you. The linebackers played really, really well for you. Now, I knew that the Steelers couldn't get second-level blocks. I knew they were going to have trouble. You missed a couple of plays, like overran a play in the hole that he could have made for probably a 2-3 yard gain, and it being a 5 yard gain. That's because the Najee Harris he's a lot like Zeke. He just can't go fast anymore. Dallas caught a real break too. Injury wise with
Patterson and
being
Jaylen Warren.
Yeah,
they're both
two
better than Najee, yet they give it to Najee.
No question. Well, and they had no choice. They really had no choice. So you got to take advantage of the situation. OA covered well, in the secondary. Hooker a couple of times was just the touchdown pass to Frymuth was, you're watching it and they're playing man coverage and he's really late reacting to the route, and you're like going, God dang, just see that a little bit quicker. Dallas could have had a couple of turnovers in this game. I mentioned Hooker; he should have had an interception. They should have, on the Joseph sack fumble. Gosh dang, Lawson just fall on the damn ball. I mean, you just kind of wonder, like, here you have an opportunity. These are becoming hard to get, and now you have 2 opportunities and you don't get either one, and you're just like crap. But defensively, with all those guys, Jordan Lewis did a great job against Pickens in that football game. They really, now I'll say this: early in the game, they tried to run. They ran their they put one of the wide receivers in the backfield and went through the line with this wide receiver in the backfield.
Was it Calvin Austin? Because he's the
sort of player
Austin
that would do that.
God, Van Jefferson?
No, it was.
They have more receivers other than
they do.
3?
Hang on, just my second here, because I forgot the kid's name, and I was like, it's Hayward. Hayward was the kid.
Oh, the tight end. Yeah. He's the one who scored the touchdown.
Yeah, they lined him. Was it Hayward that scored a touchdown or Frymuth?
The one where they ran the 2 guys off and then they ran the tight end on the out underneath. It was Hayward.
Okay, then it was. I thought it was Frymuth. Okay, yeah, Hayward. Yeah, they lined him up as a fullback there and just ran him through, and like nobody picked him up, and it's all of a sudden Kendricks is looking over there like, wait a minute, wait, somebody's supposed to get this guy, and you're just, well, here we go. So anyway, good for, they caught a break because the quarterback missed a couple of passes, missed some opportunities. Guys broke open. There was the sack that Lawson and Osa split. You get Fields running through the middle of the pocket, and they've got Austin on the in route. He beats OA and inside, and so man, it's if he sees him, it's a big play. But that's sometimes you catch breaks that way. But they had a lot of guys that normally don't make plays in that football game, and you needed every single one of them to win that game.
You ready for my campaign for the 2 other safeties to play? You ready to hop on board?
Oh yeah, I saw it, man. Thomas got a little burn yesterday.
Hey, it happens. It was an accident.
You got an accident. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's an accident. All right. Well, hey, kick butt, take names. I appreciate you. You're a badass for having watched the film, even though we haven't slept. That's incredible. You're a boss.
Yeah, I've got DallasCowboys.com here in about an hour and a half, and then I got my show, and then I got Vaj. I'm not going to stop until they tell me to stop.
You do this to yourself, and we all appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's this time of year. It's what we do. We watch football games, right?
Yep. That's Brian. I am Jeff.
See you Thursday, bro.
Please, yes, we will be here every Monday and Thursday right here. So be here. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave something in the comments for the algorithm, for crying out loud. And remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.